Anyway, welcome to the
Yes.
StarGazer podcast. I'm Monty.
I'm Sid. I'm sorry I missed last week.
Yes, although I'm sure people were interested in our new guest Eli, who we can now talk about by name because he was here before, which, in my
I
opinion,
mean,
is consent to talk about
I
him.
have yet true. I have yet to actually listen to that podcast. Sorry, guys.
Mhm.
So I don't know how if you guys prefer me being back or not, but oh well, we'll see.
Yep. We'll get some guests here and there over time, and we'll see who y'all like the best. Replace me, replace Sid. One day we'll probably replace both of us. We'll get someone to just
I
take
doubt
over.
we'll ever get to the point where somebody replaces both of us. We'll get to that point when we're in our 80s and someone's finally telling us to let go of our company.
Yes. Anyway, what should we do first? World news, I guess.
World news sounds about
World
right.
news. Jeff Bezos has announced that he will be stepping down as the CEO of Amazon in the third quarter of this year, which, as far as I can tell, is August. I think.
Third quarter?
Third quarter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that would be around August.
Okay.
But yeah, the man you hate is finally stepping down.
Yes, except he's probably still not going to redistribute all of his wealth.
No, he's probably not. But you at least you no longer have a reason to hate Amazon.
I mean, until August.
Yeah.
Sorry if my typing.
August is when you can stop hating Amazon.
Yes, but I will continue hating Jeff Bezos.
You will always continue hating Jeff Bezos. I know you.
Excuse me. All right. What else? Canada has officially declared the Proud Boys as a terrorist organization. For those who don't know, the Proud Boys are the white supremacist group. You might have heard them way back in the debate I think the first debate last year. With
The second one.
one of the debates. They're both. It's hard to tell. They're where, what was the question? Something like.
Sorry if you can hear my typing too.
Yeah. They said something like, "What do you have to say for the Proud Boys white supremacist organization?" And Donald Trump was all, "Here's what I do." Or, no, they said, "Do you condemn the acts of the Proud Boys white supremacists?" Which was like a lot of violence and shit. And Donald Trump was like, "Stand down and stand by." And then they changed their slogan to that, and I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny way back then. But
I mean, it shows that he is a white supremacist, so
yeah, it's a breath of fresh air, except for the fact that a lot of people lost their jobs now. But we'll not get into that because that wasn't technically on the news. You want to take the next one or no?
Oh, yes. Biden says we will stop giving. I thought we were selling, but either
Selling,
way,
whatever.
stop giving weapons to Saudi Arabia. Mind you, I don't think we should have been involved in this war in the first place, but that's just me.
We don't need to stick our nose in places it doesn't belong.
But that's kind of America for you. We always do.
Yep. That. I don't want to get political.
You really?
Okay. That's a. But I heard or remember hearing somewhere that something like, we can find a spare couple $100 million to send to other countries for pointless shit, and we can't find $1,200 per person so we can, continue to live. And we're like hundreds of trillions of dollars in debt as a country, and I just found that funny.
Thing real quick.
So vaccines, those are out now.
Yes.
Heard a lot of stories about those.
There's 100 million vaccines that have been administered worldwide. It is great, and to the anti-vaccine people out there, again, didn't want to get political. Bullshit.
Fuck anti-vaxxers.
Y'all can fuck off because you're killing people. You do realize not getting this vaccine is you're literally killing people.
Remember that time an anti-vaxxer on Twitter said something like, we should, instead of vaccines, we should give kids tiny, weaker versions of certain viruses. That way they build up an immunity to it instead of poisoning them with vaccines. Here's the thing. That's what vaccines are. Vaccines are a weaker like a smallpox vaccine is a very weak strand of the smallpox virus, or
that you can build an immunity
whatever.
to.
And then you give it to the child, and then the child's immune system goes, okay, I know what this is. I'm gonna beat the shit out of it, and then keep notes mentally. This is all metaphorical, of course. Keep notes on this thing that I just saw, and if I see it again, I know to go, haha, fuck you, you're not allowed here, kind of thing. That's what it does. It is great. Vaccines save lives.
They do. They do not cause autism.
They do not cause autism.
This is bullshit.
Completely unrelated note. I saw a meme yesterday or today or something that said most scientists and like neurologists and doctors and stuff are on the autism spectrum, and then the next panel was, so technically autism causes vaccines.
All right then.
I
mean, not wrong.
Yeah, technically speaking, it's the reverse.
Technically speaking, they're not wrong. So
if vaccines did cause autism, which they don't, then we would get more healthy vaccines.
Yeah.
It's what's the word? Not recursive. Exponential? No, I don't remember. Anyway, you had a thing about the Olympics.
Oh yeah, so we all know that the 2020 Olympics got pushed back, that were meant to be in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So what is currently going on right now is the what is it? If I pronounce this wrong, I apologize. Yoshiro Mori, who is the president of the committee in Japan for the Olympics and the Paralympics, in the past week has made a very sexist comment about how women shouldn't be a part of the committee and all of this by saying that women talk too much and make unnecessarily long comments.
And now here to make an unnecessarily long comment, I'm just kidding.
And here to go on a rant as a feminist, because fuck you.
As a, I can't think of a good word, but not the kind of feminist that says women should reign supreme. The kind of feminist that says we are not worth less.
Believes in equality, we deserve equal rights, and men are not that men are inferior. Though there are some men I do think that too, because they are complete morons. But we're not getting started in that.
Yeah.
But no, when it's shown by studies in Japan and in Southeast Asia and even in American and even in I'm saying the continent of North America, not just the US. But when it's shown in studies that women don't actually talk a lot, mainly because men don't listen. We are known for not talking a lot and not really giving long-winded opinions and shit like this, because we know men will just go, shrug, sure, whatever. So the fact that he said this and that the rest of the committee laughed with him over it is infuriating.
I will say, not to derail anything you said, the rest of the committee probably laughed because he was their boss and they didn't want to get fired or anything.
I can see that being a thing too, but it's just like,
yes,
what the absolute hell? Mm-hmm. There are female Olympians, for Christ's sakes.
Mm-hmm. I think that pretty much barred Japan from being the host for a while.
I don't think it did, actually. I think it means, what is it?
You're Googling.
I'm reading the article real quick. Sorry. Okay. I'm like skimming.
Mm-hmm. In the meantime,
He would like to take back and apologize for those that he offended.
Did he say that?
Mm.
Those that he offended.
Yes. Regarding my remark yesterday, I was going against the mentality of the Olympics and Paralympics. I would like to take back what I said and apologize to those who were offended by my remarks. The Olympics and the Paralympics represent equality of both men and women. I am thankful for the women athletes and staff.
He's on thin ice.
He's already been on thin ice because this article, which is from the Washington Post, talks about how he's done shit like this before. During his first election campaign in 1969, he made a joke about AIDS. And then later that year, he insulted Americans.
I straight up
with the Y2K bug.
I straight up almost chortled. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. I am hydrating. Water. Drink it.
Yeah. Then he's also made This man has made a lot of terrible comments. Like in 2014, when he was chief of the Tokyo Games, he had made a negative remark about Mao Asada, who was a figure skater who was a silver medalist in the Vancouver Winter Olympics and 2 times world champion. But because they had gotten, I'm saying they because I'm not sure what their pronouns are. But because they had gotten the silver medal, he commented, always falling at the most critical time. And he also said that Japanese ice skaters, as Chris Reed and Kathy Reed, children of a Japanese mother and American father, were not good enough for the U.S. team, which is why they were on the Japan team in the Olympics.
God.
Is there like?
Jesus. Can we get this guy fired?
Can we?
Can we get a meeting without him and just can we just get this guy fired, please?
This man, I do know that luckily there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I do know, and I'm not sure where the petition is, but I do know there is a petition that's already had 1,000 signatures signed to get rid of him in Japan. I would have to ask my friend about it because he knows more. He knows more about it than I do. But
it's a good start.
Yes,
it's probably on change.org or something.
Maybe, I don't know, but the fact that this man said these things in 2014 and is still the head of the committee for the Olympics in Japan is oh my God.
Okay. Some shit
Why?
just never changes.
I hate patriarchies. I do. I hate them so much.
I hate words that end in archy.
I mean,
well, no, malarkey's a pretty good word. I'm not trying to make light of this. I'm trying to.
No, I know.
I'm trying to pad. I'm padding for time. Trust me. Stutter.
I can tell you are stuttering. Yes, you are padding for time and stuttering. I can tell. Don't worry. I understand. But it's just one of those things of he's sexist and xenophobic, and he's still the head of the committee for the Tokyo Olympics.
Gross.
I'm not going to say any type of patriarchal or matriarchal society is good. They're not genuinely. But it's something I had talked to my friend about yesterday. When you look at a matriarchal society, most of the time, things tend to be better. Not saying great, I'm saying better. Because in a patriarchal society, and this is obvious and we see it all the time, it is a dick measuring contest.
Yeah.
They make decisions on what will inflate their ego, not on how it will affect the people they're governing. Where, as much as they like to say women are too sensitive, we at least acknowledge that if we make a decision, it affects the people below us. So sorry if that makes us more emotional. Ugh.
Gross. Anyway, to follow that note, in internet news, I'm sorry. Were you done?
So it was.
Okay, I'm not trying to move on or make light. I'm just like, I've fallen out of the routine a little bit, and I'm still getting used to it again. Internet news: Hell of a Boss came back, episode 3, Spring Broken, featuring. Oh God, hang on. I can't remember her name.
You'll find it, but we love Viv.
Yeah.
Viv's writing is amazing.
The character's name was Verosica, but I can't remember the Cristina Valenzuela.
Okay.
Valenzuela. God, I can't read.
Why not?
Yeah, Verosica Mayday. Also, have you seen this episode, by the way?
Yes. Also, Blitz's ex.
Yes. Also, Luna almost calls Blitz dad. Also,
Yeah.
Luna with a human disguise.
Yep.
God, I want to draw it so bad. I want to be good at drawing so I can draw it.
Oh, not only is she so cute in her human disguise, the crush she had only to get destroyed at the end of it was so cute.
Yeah, my girlfriend throws the wildest parties, and she's like, oh,
right. I felt that, Luna. I felt that in my soul.
Fucking, what? I can't think.
Really?
Luna. I lost it. Oh,
Blitz.
in the middle of the episode, Blitz was like, "You know the kind of weirdos up there that oogle all over you," and then every single one of them looks out the screen. They broke the fourth wall to say, "Stop it." They told the audience, "Stop looting Luna."
He's a hellhound. Why would you?
Exactly. Also, Luna's like,
anything you should do it.
What?
You should do it to Angel Dust because it makes sense.
Exactly. If anybody, but you shouldn't do anybody because it's not. Anyway. Okay.
Angel's a porn star. I think it's allowed.
Yeah, you're right. God, and again, looking at the human disguise, I feel like we all know someone who looks just like that.
Or someone who did.
Or someone who did look just like that. But you and I both know exactly who that looks like.
Yeah, yeah.
To an extent of, like, copyright infringement levels of look-alike.
We love Mom.
We love Mom. What did we refer to them as? It?
We
can just do it. If we want.
I just say Mom.
Mom, that works.
I mean, they are mom friends, so.
Yeah. Mom, it, they, them, whatever.
Yeah. So to segue off, Ruby has come back. I have not seen any of season 8, so I'm going to let my co-host talk about this because I know nothing.
I'm not spoiling anything. Because first of all, for you, second of all, for the audience, I don't spoil anything for anything ever, and I probably never will. But every episode so far has been like episode 1. It was like, all right, that's a cool thing, and then it does something even more interesting that we've never seen before, and we're like, oh, okay, and then a bad thing happens, and then they keep going. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 all happen, and I think 8, I don't remember what number this is. All the other episodes happen. Every single episode, you get another, ooh, what's that? Oh, fuck, shit, kind of thing. And this one, it just does it all over again. The thing happens, and you're like, oh, damn, oh, shit, huh? And now we have to, every episode has been a cliffhanger so far. I don't want this season to end. I don't want this show to end, but I want more. You know?
Yes, I get that. I don't want it to end either. I want more, but I also would like for as much as I love RWBY fans, do not get me wrong. Some RWBY fans I've met are the coolest people. Some of them are not.
Mm-hmm.
But
Every fan base is toxic.
every fan base has its toxic people. There's always a bad apple somewhere.
Or apples, in most cases.
Or apples, yes. But I'm going to emphasize this. Stop making Miles and Carrie try and write Yang and Blake.
Yeah.
They were good. Not
it was fine. And then
it
they
was fine with
had to force
flirting. And then because of everybody else, they forced it, and now it seems forced.
The whole community said Bumblebee, and Miles and Carrie said no, and then the community said Bumblebee, and Miles and Carrie said no, and the community kept doing that for a while, and eventually Miles and Carrie went, all right, fine, and then the community went, but we don't like it, and then Miles and Carrie went, why the fuck did you want it then? It's
like people. Fan fiction exists for a reason. Just stick to that.
Just let Bumblebee stay in the fan fiction and let the regular show.
Like, I like Ice Flower, don't get me wrong, but am I going to bitch and complain to Miles and Carrie until they make it happen? No!
Mm-hmm. And here's another thing. We know that... Oh, God, what was it? What was Penny and Ruby's ship? I keep forgetting that.
I don't...
Nuts and Dolts. That's what it was. Nuts and Dolts.
Nuts and Dolts.
There are moments that I'll look back on and I'm like, oh, that's definitely a Nuts and Dolts moment. Just because Miles is probably like... Because I know really old panel that they did in an RTX one year. I remember Miles saying his favorite ship was Nuts and Dolts. So every once in a while, I'll see something and I'm like, hey, that's a Nuts and Dolts moment. Miles probably said, hey, can we do that real quick just to like call to it? And then that was it. And then they don't force it into the story.
Mm-hmm. And again, like I said, I'm a big Ice Flower.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, I know it's a pretty common one too, to be honest. Weiss and Ruby, like, come on. But I'm not going to force it. Just like how, as much as I kind of would have liked to seen it, especially now that I've seen the forced Bumblebee.
Yep.
I don't remember the ship name. Sun and Blake.
Sun and Blake. Oh, Jesus. Hang on. I have a really old... You're going to hate me. I have a really old ship sheet somewhere.
I know you do.
I just got to find it. That's not it. That's the one. Sun and Blake, you say, right? Sun and Blake. Okay, these both suck. There's two ship names. One is Black Sun and the other is Eclipse.
I like Eclipse better.
Yeah, I like it better, but they're both kind of suck.
They're both dumb.
Let's come up with a ship name right now.
Greenwood Shadowcat.
Shadowcat. That's mostly Blake. I was thinking Monkey Business, but then I realized that's mostly Sun.
We're not good at this.
No. I got it.
Oh.
Cat Monkey by the Beastie Boys.
No!
Instead of Brass Monkey, it's Cat's Monkey.
No.
Jesus. That's I like that. I'm keeping that. If I ever hear Sun and Blake, I'm referring to it as Cat's Monkey, that funky monkey.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, so I'm just like, I personally would have liked to have seen where like that could have gone because Blake and Sun are really cute.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like, now that I've seen the forcedness of Bumblebee, I'm so glad that there weren't enough Sun and Blake shippers.
Yeah. What was the really nice one?
Another one I'm so happy that like no one's touched on or thought about forcing Miles and Carrie to do is Ruby and Jean. Don't remember the ship name again.
Yes. What was that? Time to pull up the spreadsheet again.
Why did you close it?
I didn't think we'd stay on it for that long. Ruby and Jean, Dork Knight, Crater Face, Rose Knight, and Lancaster. What the fuck is Lancaster?
See Lancaster.
There's a city
it's
in
like
Pennsylvania.
Lancelot, kinda. All right, then.
There's a city in Pennsylvania. That's all I got.
But Rose Knight fits.
Rose Knight, yeah. I like the Dork Knight.
Dork Knight.
Dork Knight. Also, I will say this spreadsheet.
Crater face.
The spreadsheet isn't mine, but it's kind of dumb because the whole spreadsheet ignores ships between the same character. And it's completely ignoring the fact that there could be clones. But on top of that, Coco and Coco just has 2 ship names, either Chanel or Hot Coco.
Velvet, though. If you couldn't tell him.
Oh yeah,
Coco. Into the gay
by
ships
the way,
fun.
by the way, Coco and Velvet has one of my favorite ship names is Crosshairs.
Oh? Why?
Because Rabbit and Minigun.
Yes.
There's also
yeah.
Oh god, Nesquik, Chocolate Bunny, Easter Bunny, and Combat Totes.
What?
What else do we have? What are some other good ones? Oh, also two ship names that I won't forget. Multiple Weisses, either 2 Weisses or 3 Weisses, can be twice or thrice.
Didn't you come up with those?
I think so. I came up with those and I'm proud of them.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm not proud. I am.
He's unbearable, guys.
Let's move on. Wait, did they leave? Okay, yeah, because they stopped working on this in season 5 and they were like, I'm done working on this. Shut up. Go away. There's a lot of missing pieces.
Let's leave this. Because I'm gonna go on the rant of I still don't understand how Team Coffee is coffee with how it's spelled.
Team Coffev.
Coffev.
We've done an excellent job at the press Coffev.
Because it's CYVF. That's coffee?
It's not CYVF.
I think, or is the Y at the end? Well,
It's CFVY.
Oh.
It's coffee.
It's still.
It's the closest to coffee you can get with it. Also,
I don't like it.
Also, I like the argument in the beginning of season 4, like, it's either Team Ranger or Team Junior, and then it's like, Junior's not a color, and that's like, neither is Ranger. Coffee's not a color. Coffee's a
Neither
drink.
Is Juniper is not a
Juniper and Ruby can be argued as a color if you're like a Crayola expert or some shit, but they're not.
Juniper
colors.
Look like.
What's it? Hang on, Juniper.
We're both looking it up.
I wrote Junior. Juniper's blue. They look like blueberries.
Who the fuck is this?
I'm putting it in my mouth immediately. Who? That's a full white image. Anyway. Junipers, rubies, what else was in there? Team Sun. The sun isn't a color.
What?
Team Sun.
Okay. So juniper, like the actual color juniper is a deep green color.
Weird.
It actually, you want to know what it looks like?
What?
Ren's robes.
I can't not hit that O. I wrote Junipet. Juniper.
It reminds me of Ren's robes.
It does look like Ren's robes. Ugh. Anyway, off of that tangent.
Yeah, we need to get away from Ruby.
We should just rename this is like the 9th time I've said this. Just rename it the Tangent Podcast and move on.
We have said that so many times, but we haven't.
We need to get away from Ruby. Anyway, My Hero Academia.
What?
Actually, no. Now that I say
that.
No, now that I say that, I do remember. I don't know if we were talking about this yesterday or something, but season 5 got announced for April.
Okay.
I think season 5.
I haven't watched since the end of season 3.
In spring of 2021. Yeah, I don't remember where I am. All I know is I watched one episode with Gentle Criminal, and I swear if that's not his name.
Isn't it Gentle Villain or something?
Hang on. also known as Gentle Criminal. That's the first time I've gotten it right. I've always thought it as Gentle Touch Villain or Gentle Villain or Touch something. I don't remember. But Gentle Criminal is the guy's name. I watched one episode with him in it, and I said, I think I'm done for a while. And then I haven't seen it in like 4 years or 2 years. Or
I
whatever.
haven't. I stopped watching at the end of season 3.
Mm-hmm.
So before Overhaul even got introduced.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we just met the big 3.
I gotta.
So we had just met Mirio and Tamaki and Haru.
I will say, I'm not going to spoil. Overhaul is amazing. What he does in his time on the show rivals the villainy of Shigaraki. Is that the Bad Touch Man?
Bad Touch Man Shigaraki.
Shigaraki. Rivals Shigaraki extremely. And again, I'm not going to spoil, but you get scared of what happens at the end of that arc.
Okay, I'll watch it at some point.
Yeah,
it was just the hype. The hype was really getting to me, so I was just like, nah.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't doing that.
Mom loves Overhaul.
Why does that look like that's been opened? Sorry, I'm in my dorm room. Give me a second.
Okay. While we're waiting on Sid for a second, I will start the company news. We are working on the script for the abridged series that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
The abridged series that we had talked about 2 weeks ago, because I wasn't on the last podcast. We're working on the script. We have episodes 1 and 2 done. We're working on 3 at the moment. And Monty needs to actually watch the fucking show.
You put on the episodes that I needed to watch, and I watched them. And then I didn't do anything else because you didn't tell me to do anything else.
Yeah, you also weren't really paying attention.
I was paying enough attention. You give me a script and tell me how to do the voice, and then I'll read. That's
fine.
That's all I should need to do.
All right, fine.
Like, you know.
But the main reason we've been arguing that you need to watch it more is so you can pick more characters.
You could just point at a character and say, "Do that one," and I'll do it.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I'll change my voice. I'll shift things up. If you pay close enough attention, you'll be able to say. Go ahead.
I will tell the director and the scriptwriter that whoever they want to put you as, they can.
Yes. And I did look into it. It is perfectly legal because it is 100% criticism, review, commentary, fair use. So there is nothing illegal about what we're doing with this thing. If anyone decides to want to report us or anything, it's not. Neither was Attack on Titan abridged. That entire thing was parody, and it wasn't criticism or review, but the entire thing was parody. So it was fair use. What else? Oh, this is an interesting one. The album that we've been promising almost got canceled because the computer...
I was about to scream.
Yeah, that one day I just texted Sid and I said, hey, the computer that's the only computer that for some reason is the only computer that works with the piano that we have isn't turning on. And I went to Geek Squad at my local Best Buy, #not-sponsored, and I said, what can I do about this? And they took it away for 10 minutes, and then they came back and they said, so, it's either the power supply, and I said, and then they said, or the motherboard, and I said, oh, got it, cool. And then I came home and I said, I can do one of two things: completely take apart that computer, clean every single part of it, put it back together, hope it turns on, and if it doesn't, then I have to go and buy more parts for it, which would cost more than buying an entirely new computer. Or I can plug in 2 cables to another PC and hope it works. And I have no idea if it will or not. And it ended up working. So the album is not canceled, but that other computer almost exploded. I'd turn it on right now to give you the audience the idea of what sound it made when it does turn on now. It used to go It used to turn on. It would do like the fan would start, and then it would go like to set some whatever, and then it would go one high pitched beep, and then that would tell you it's ready. But if it doesn't do the beep, the one high pitched beep, it goes and that's how you know something's fucked up. So there's a button on the side that you press that says don't kill yourself, and then you press that and normally it will start up fine. But you press that and it would do the thing, and then it would just start beeping again the bad way. So that's when I had to take it up, and that's the rest of that story. But we got the thing hooked up to the computer.
I won't tell you how much I was panicked at that. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. We would have figured something out. Like,
we
if
would have
all
figured
else failed.
something out,
Yeah.
but it would have been one of those, holy shit.
It would have been one of
moments.
those, god fucking damn it. But, like, worst case
Like, we
scenario.
had to. It wouldn't have been we canceled the album. It would have been we're going to push it back until we are affirmative. We have to cancel it.
Yeah. We were going to be pushing and be like, it's probably not going to be the end of this year. And then after that, we'd be like, okay, we're just going to save these lyrics and just throw the rest of this in the garbage.
Yeah.
But I forgot what I was saying. That's probably not important.
But, yeah, no, the computer's up and running now. We're not canceling anything.
Demo for this month. Again, going to be coming out at the end of this month, but it's not ready, but it will be done by the end of this month. Also, let's see, because we're doing one song, because we have 12 songs, so that's why we said we do it month by month. I already have the lyrics for April, because we're also dividing the album in two, so you get half the songs and I get half the songs, so it's like a fair share thing. So I have song number 4, and I'm already done writing the lyrics for that.
Well, I'm done with the lyrics for song 3.
All right, we could check on that later
fine.
today. And then I have to also do the demo for song 2, which I wanted to do, which shouldn't be hard because everything works. I just need to plug the cable
once
in.
you get the demo recorded, send it to me and I'll listen to it and give you what I think.
Yep. Anyway, to follow that company meeting within a podcast.
Yeah, that was a company meeting within a podcast. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
It's the shit we've been doing this week. So, Monty.
Yep. Let's see. As you know, last week I was like one shift away from quitting. I'm done. That job is now over. You will never know where I worked, unless you. I don't fucking know. Probably never know where I worked. I'll never mention it. But yeah, they're done. And I was like, I'm done. And they're like, all right, see ya. And then on another day that I didn't have a shift, they were like, hey, where are you? And I'm like, I don't work here anymore. And they said, it's really unprofessional of you to not come into work when you have work. And I'm like, motherfucker, I quit. You can't. No, fuck you.
Notice, or did you just say fuck this?
No, I didn't even respond. To this very second, I haven't even opened the texts. They're still on delivered for them because I haven't opened them, I haven't read them, I haven't marked them as read, I haven't done anything, and I don't care because I don't work there anymore.
Now, I hear you getting static shocked.
Yeah, okay. Literally every goddamn thing in my house, in my basement, is made of metal because I'll like walk past this little shelf thing I have okay, I have a pole. My basement is built, there's a pole for like a support beam, but before we moved in like 17 years ago, the guy was like, I don't want people to think this is a stripper pole, so I'm going to put drywall up over it, and it's just a drywall thing, and it's just there. And I was like, I could put like a little shelf there so people can like drop their wallets and keys or whatever when people are coming over. And I have that shelf there. I'm walking by it. I get zapped. I go over to the stereo system for the TV. I turn it on. I get zapped. I go over and turn on the PS4 and play Diablo. I'll get into a Diablo in a tangent in a minute. I turn the thing on. Get zapped. I go over to get a drink out of the fridge. I get zapped. I come over here to close the computer tray door that keeps opening for no reason. I get zapped because it's made of metal. I touch the microphone to talk to this podcast. I get zapped. I am not convinced that I'm not a robot. That's how often I get zapped.
Are you sure? Not
Yes.
just you dragging your feet on the carpet. And
I
that
do
creating
not
static
drag my
electricity?
feet. I'm not even. Well, I'm wearing socks now, but I usually don't even wear socks.
It'd just be the carpet down there.
Yeah, it is some thick shag. I made myself laugh at that. It is some thick shag. Is shag
That
spelled
damn
with two? Shag carpet. No, it's just one. There's your title for this podcast.
Yeah.
'Cause I
All I
control
gotta
the
say
Titans.
is that shoulder hole, though.
Oh yeah, the shoulder hole. Is that a story for another day, or is that a story for right now?
That's for another day.
All right.
Because we're probably gonna mention it again.
Yeah. If anyone's listening now or in the future, bring up the shoulder hole at some point. Like, if you're listening to this in the future, right now, and we're also currently doing a podcast right now, like present now, live now, not this is recording from the past, bring up the shoulder hole and we'll discuss it, because that's a really fun story. And then I'll bring up the tangent about the foot sandwich. You don't need to know that either, but
I know the tangent about the foot sandwich.
it's important to me that you know that about the foot sandwich. It is not a sandwich made of feet. Moving on.
It is not, but that story is funny.
Yeah, you moved on to campus, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
So last week, the reason I wasn't on the podcast outside of I didn't have my mic.
Disambiguation college.
Yeah, I had moved onto campus for college
Yep.
because the college I currently go to, it's kind of it's basically mandatory that you live on campus.
That's dumb.
And campus is actually being really safe and everything. Like every morning, I have to get up and get on my email, and they have you do a thing of like, here are the list of symptoms for COVID. Are you feeling any of these? If not, hit no, and you can be on campus today. If you are, you need to come to health services and get checked out.
Every morning you have to do that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Every morning.
That sounds really authoritarian
it's
a little bit.
It's tedious, but it helps keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
I will admit though, but because I live in a residence hall, like in a dorm hall and all that,
Mm-hmm.
as much as like, yeah, I tend to like stick to my room, because we all live in the same vicinity of each other, like literally I can hear my neighbor through the fucking walls, even though the concrete.
Even though you cut out for a sec, even though what?
The walls are concrete, but you can hear everyone through them.
That makes no sense. Well, I don't need to say another friend anymore. Eli, when he was at his college, they also had concrete walls, and they couldn't hear a fucking thing that anybody else said.
Now you can hear everyone. I can hear the guy above me. I can hear my neighbors next to me.
Jesus.
Yes, Jess? Did you have to knock on the wall?
Someone else wants to be on the podcast. They're like, I want to participate too.
If it was above me, I would have screamed a name, but I can't because we're on a podcast.
Yes.
I have to remind myself that.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I moved on campus. That was fine. Everything was cool until I unpacked, and then I realized I forgot my mic.
Yeah. So me and our JoJo expert had to go all the way up to where you are, which was an indiscriminate amount of time. But we saw a lot of empty fields, and they were very pretty. And, yeah, that was about it. That's the only remarkable thing about that. We saw a big...
So much fucking corn.
Yeah, we saw... There was no corn because it's winter. There's no crops up.
It's cornfield! The cornfields!
It might not have been corn. You don't know it was corn.
With where we live?
And where do we live? Earth? Earth. We live on Earth.
I hate you.
I hate me too. Don't worry about it. But speaking of that JoJo expert, God, when was this? Was it like a month ago that I told them that Pokemon existed?
I think it was. It wasn't even a month. I think it was 3 weeks ago, to be honest.
Yeah, somewhere between 2 weeks and a month ago, JoJo Expert, who has
never played Pokemon.
Yeah, not just never played Pokemon, is not a large video game player. As far as I can tell, the only video game they've played was Mario Kart for the DS, and I don't think anything else, honestly. But I gave them Pokemon, and then sometime last week, they beat it. Done. Like, they defeated, they're playing Pokemon. It was either Sword or Shield. I can never remember which one I have. One of the two. Beat Leon, got his Charmander at the very end, and that was it. He's done with it now. And now we're playing Diablo because they were like, oh, I said, we should continue you further and get you more used to video games. And I said, I feel like Diablo might be pretty easy for you. And then they went, okay, we'll try it. And then we're already on Diablo 3, by the way. We're already on Act 2, and we've already defeated whatever the witch's name is, the green and purple lady.
Remember.
Hang on.
Are you playing Diablo 1?
3.
Which Diablo are you
Magda.
playing? Are you playing Magnum?
Magda.
Okay. Right, Magda.
And we're level 28, I think. 28 or 29, somewhere around there. And
yeah, you guys are doing well.
They're enjoying the absolute fuck out of it.
I wish I could be playing a Diablo with you guys, but I can't.
Do you not have any consoles up there?
The game room, but I don't know if the game room is open.
Get your own console, get a small TV, get a fucking, I don't know.
That's more useless crap in my dorm room than I need.
That's understandable.
But, speaking of the dorm room and campus,
if I can...
we started classes this week, which was fun because the first class I went to, I literally picked because it was an in-person class because I don't learn well online.
Mm-hmm.
Only for him to say, nope, it's all online, and for me to go, fuck you, and change classes.
Great. Lovely.
So I'm now in an art class. I am now in a museum studies class that is in person. That is actually really cool.
Nice.
So I'm having fun with that.
That's good.
The only other class I have in the week is on Sunday, so I haven't actually had it yet. I have it tomorrow. Because it's an equine studies class, so
Horse?
I'd get to deal with horses.
Cow.
My God.
Sorry, fucking... Okay, quick tangent. On the way to give you your mic, JoJo Expert and I were passing a farm, and they saw an animal, and they said, "It's a cow." And I said, "Is it a horse?" And they said, "No, it's a horse." Because they just missaw it. But is that a horse? No, it's a horse. That fucking Christ. It was really funny, but I'm so fucking tired, man.
Clearly.
Drove like 2 hours back and
but
forth.
But I know, but it was one of the things, like, being on campus, especially like with class and everything, that's really cool is the campus isn't that big.
Uh-huh.
So going to and from classes isn't that hard, especially when I'm coming back to my dorm.
That's convenient.
But again, because all of us that hang out together are in the same building, like me and my friends.
Yeah.
We see each other often. And it's like, with everything that's gone on in the past year, it's so weird socializing again.
Yeah.
Because you haven't really been able to, but because you're kind of forced to here, it's like socializing. What is this?
Yeah, that's gotta be weird making friends again after...
Oh, yeah,
God,
no,
what's
it's
it
like...
been, 11 months now?
Yeah.
How many days?
A little more?
How many days since March 13th, 2020? 330 days. We're coming
Almost an entire year.
We're coming up on 365.
Almost an entire year.
Almost an entire
so yeah,
year.
making friends again is definitely weird.
Mm-hmm.
But it's doing well.
Good.
I have made friends.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, I made friends, like, my entire, like, group of for new student orientation, we call it NSO over here.
NSO.
Our entire group, because of how small it was, all of us kind of made friends.
Nice.
So, and we're all in the same resident hall. We're all in the same building. So, like, I see them all the time, and I laugh because when we were doing NSO, I was the only American student, so all of my friends are international students, and it's funny. And it's a lot of fun because it's a lot of, like, sharing cultures and us asking each other random questions and shit.
Cool.
But
that's
yeah,
really interesting.
that's fun. One of the things that got brought up, and this is another topic that we have on our thing that we're talking about, is it was something that was brought up because all of the athletic teams were brought onto campus earlier than everybody else.
Okay.
Which normally makes sense because they're working out, they're training, and all that before the season starts. But on campus, it's causing a big divide and debate because the athletic teams, when they practice and when they go to away games and things that aren't on campus, aren't wearing masks.
Mm-hmm.
So you have one half of the campus that's like, no, they should be wearing masks because it's a danger to everybody else. But then you have the other half of campus going, well, they're working out, they're exercising. It doesn't seem logical for them to have one on. But it's also so like the campus is in a very big divide on the people that are like, no, the athletic teams are okay to not be wearing masks, and I'm kind of on the side of they should be wearing masks.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, you guys go to away games, you guys are practicing in close quarters around other people.
Mm-hmm.
And we've already had a basketball person on the basketball team that my roommate was friends with already be forced into quarantine because he tested positive. It's like,
So now the whole basketball team and everyone they're talking to has to be figured out.
Tested. God. So it's just like, no, I'm not.
See, this is why I hate sports.
It's better. You're better off wearing a mask than you're not, but because of that, it's causing a big debate within on campus and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of like, I can see why it's a debate because you are going to have the people that are like, no, it's understandable why they're not wearing masks and things. But I'm also like, but when us regular students, not athletes, regular students, go to use the gym, we're all wearing masks. So I don't think it's fair that us regular students are following the rules and they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what's going on in my life.
Yeah, that's some real shit. I haven't had a lot else going on. The room's still a mess. I did what else did I do? I've not been doing much. There was a lot on our list, and it was a very uneventful week.
Yeah. It's kind of been a very uneventful week.
Mm-hmm.
I am doing laundry later today because I need to do that.
Yeah, I'm doing laundry tomorrow.
Mm.
We've devolved to talking about when we're doing laundry. That's this podcast now.
I live in a dorm. Like, I'm living on my own for the first time, so like, me doing laundry is kind of a big thing, but also it don't really fucking care.
Yeah. Oh, I know something that I didn't talk about because it was the day before that it happened. I got a record player.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, I got a record player, so now I'm listening to they're not vinyls, they're records. All of the records that I have, or if you're fancy.
Is it the record player your mom got you?
Yes, it is that record player.
Okay, she finally gave it to you.
Yes. Did you know about that?
Yes.
Of course you did. I will say, the one problem I had with it is it's just slightly slow but I don't know why. But I think I could figure it out. It shouldn't be that hard of a fix. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I was about to say, yeah, you should be able to figure it out.
Yeah, but slightly. It's not a kind of record player where you could just tick tack, like just tap the thing, the speed dial a little bit higher. It's on 3 predetermined settings, so it's either 33, 45, or 78. But I do want to go on a quick tangent. Why the fuck did people take records and then say, we're going to call these vinyls now because these are now retro. These are now old school kind of shit. And then almost immediately, now they're calling them LPs. It's...
I couldn't answer that because I call them records.
I know, they're records. They're not vinyls. They're not LPs. If you want to get real fancy with it, call them 33s because you can get as the old Chromeo song goes, you can get a jukebox full of 45s. Then why can't you have a record player with a 33? You know? Well, maybe people get confused. You say 33 and they think you're talking about a gun or something.
Yeah, that can get kind of confusing. But just say record.
Yeah.
Sorry, my roommate woke me up at 7 this morning.
Yeah. Are you drunk?
No, me and my friends were hanging out playing a board game last night, and the game didn't end until 1 in the morning.
Oof.
And then my roommate who got drunk woke me up at 7 in the morning.
I see.
I was not happy.
I've been playing, also real quick, I do feel obligated to call out Dark Side of the Moon, the new AC/DC album, Return to Wherever by TWRP, the new album by The Living Tombstone. I've been listening to those a lot. If you're listening now, which I highly doubt that you are, but thank you for those albums. Those are great. But I've been playing Mancala again. Do you remember that? Sydney?
Yeah, I said yeah. I guess you didn't hear me.
Yeah, the thing cuts out. It's weird. Online sucks, but everyone's covered.
It does, but it's what we got to do.
It's all we have right now. But how do I put this? I've been playing Mancala, and my win-loss tie ratio is like 2-4-17. We keep getting ties. We keep getting 24-24. It's frustrating.
Good job.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the game, but last night we played this board game where basically you had to create train lines from one city to another.
Monopoly.
No, it's like Monopoly, but not.
Advance to Boardwalk.
No.
Okay. That's a spin-off game. I have one of those.
Yeah, but I'll have to message my friend. But it's.
I have some.
It was actually really fun and everything. But of course, so you had the one person that knew how to play. You have 4 other people that have no clue how they're playing, and are just learning the game. But the new people? Who do we pay attention to throughout the entire game on who to block and who to not let make their trains and all this nonsense?
Yeah.
Each other. We don't pay attention to the one that knows how to play. Until it's too late and we realize what he's done, and we're just...
You realize, oh shit, we should have been paying attention to the person who knows how to play. Now he's gonna win. Fuck. Shit.
And by the time we had noticed, it was too late.
Yeah. And
it was just, damn it.
God, I was thinking the other day, I don't know where this idea came from, don't at me, but I was thinking, what if we took a card game and just made, not a card game, just took a bunch of card games and then just stacked them all together and shuffled them all into one thing, and then everyone took out their hand of 10 cards or something, and then you just play that card game. What the fuck would happen?
I don't know.
God, okay. What kind of...
Okay, so the board game is called A Ticket to Ride.
Okay.
And it's really fun. But basically, from what I've seen and from what I've understood, is this board game, it depends on which one you buy, but there's different The one we played yesterday was the US map. And it was fun. It was fun. It was fine. But it has a map of the US that you then have to like connect the things to.
Okay.
So like one of the routes I had to do was from Toronto all the way to Atlanta.
Okay.
And I had to connect the train cars to Atlanta. And you would think that would be easy. Wasn't.
Yeah. Oh. What a twist.
The main reason it wasn't was because when playing it, you had to when you play, you have to basically to do one thing, to do one route, you have to look, because there's stops in between, of course, from going to Montreal, going from Toronto to freaking Atlanta. There's different stops. And because of that, you have to play the same amount of cards in the same color down, and getting the same cards, like the same color cards, is ridiculous. Because like I went like 3 turns, like 3 rounds, just drawing cards from the deck, so I could get enough pink cards to connect to Miami.
Shit. This sounds like what I would do it sounds like this game is something that would force me to do what I normally do in Monopoly and just get angry.
It kind of does.
Yeah. What else? I'm remembering now. I have a lot of weird board games in my garage that I just leave there because I have nowhere else to put them. But there's some old ones in there. Like there's a really old what was it called? Risk. There's a really old Risk in there. There's an old Advance to Boardwalk, the Monopoly spinoff. There's an unopened Monopoly game from like the 80s or something, I think. I can't remember. There's some card game, I think, but I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember half the board games in there. What was your childhood board game?
A lot of the board games we had, let's see, we had like Trivial Pursuit and really old Trivial Pursuit too. Mm-hmm. We also had, what is it? We also had like Monopoly, which, mind you, I've said this multiple times. Monopoly is the game that ruins friendships. Yes. The reason I say this is because I have never completed a game of Monopoly in my life. Mm-hmm. Because every single time somebody rage quits.
Yep. That's how the game works. That's why there's
okay.
That's why there's no instructions for the end of the game, because the game will never end.
Yeah, I'm just like, how does one?
How does
one do this?
Real talk though, I think officially, if you run out of money, that's the end of your game, and then you keep going.
Except for people who play with house rules and things, where if you run out of money, you can auction off properties and things.
Yeah, that's why I hate playing it, because it's like, okay, house rules are this, and then people are like, no, that house rules is stupid. We'll bring in my house rules, even though this is your house and your game, and you invited me here. And I'm like, hey, how about we don't do that? And they're like, nah, shut up.
You know? Yeah, I get that. I get that.
There's the, God.
Because, like, what is it? The house rule for me has always, like, let's go with Uno. Yeah. Uno house rules. For me, it's regular Uno, which is just, you play Uno and you can stack. Uh-huh. Which is normal.
Yeah.
You can do that. That's fine.
That's standard. Official Uno rules.
But then, like, as me and my friends were playing together, like my friends here on campus,
Mm-hmm.
one of her house rules was if you have the same number card, doesn't matter what color, just the same number card in your hand, you can play all of them down at once.
That's super trashy. That must be a state thing.
No, she's from Pakistan.
The fuck?
She's from Pakistan.
What the fuck? That's some weird ass shit.
Middle East. But yeah, so it's like...
yeah, I thought Pakistan was in the Pacific Ocean. Not really, I'm being an asshole.
I'm going to fight him. If you guys ever at some point meet us in person, you're gonna see me physically fight him.
If we're on a panel, we have to sit at opposite ends of a really long table with a lot of people between us. That's how the thing's gonna have to go.
Thumb, because there's going to be a person holding me back.
Yes.
From getting out of my seat.
And there's gonna be a person keeping me away from you, because no, get out of the way. Like my bodyguard, and you have someone that just holds you back.
Yeah, and there's gonna also be a person probably next to Monty that's just gonna put their hand over his mouth. Just stop.
Yep. Yeah. We'll have
stop provoking. Just stop provoking.
Muter. We'll have. Oh my god. Oh, that's really funny. We can have a signer on one side, and at some point the signer can just stop and then just cover my mouth.
Would be hysterical.
Something about that's just funny to me. It reminds. Oh god.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Peanut gag, where Peanut would just talk and he would be saying nothing.
Yeah.
But he'd move his mouth.
I regret showing Monty Jeff Dunham.
Yep.
Or as Peanuts likes to say, Jeff Dunham.
Dunham. Forgot about that one. God, is there going to be a single podcast where we don't refer to something else that we enjoy?
Probably not.
Yep.
Literally had an entire tangent talking about Ruby. Are you kidding me?
You're not wrong. I mean, to fall on to something that isn't us and talk about that's whatever. Who cares?
Yes. Peanut's fun. Peanut's really fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, Ahmed is old.
No. Ever drink? No.
Drank?
Ever do
no.
drugs?
Done
no.
drugs?
Then how
no.
the hell did you
come up with me?
What was the other one you were talking about?
I was gonna say, as much as it's wrong and he's so wrong, I love Ahmed.
Oh yeah.
I kill you!
I kill you!
As a Jew, I
Jews?
I think as a Jew, he doesn't say that. He says, "What's with all the infidels?"
No. At one point, I remember seeing a show that was, "What's with all the Jews?" And it's like, "We're in Israel, Ahmed," and he goes, "Ha! What?" That was the end of the video, by the way. It was, "What's with all the Jews? We're in Israel." You're funny. Wait, what?
I love Ahmed. Don't get me wrong. And as a Jew, I feel like I should find him offensive, but I just find it funny.
Mm-hmm. And as you should. It's not meant to be offensive. It is meant to say, I don't fucking know. It's not intentionally malicious.
To be silly.
It's not supposed to be malicious. It's meant to be funny. And people are like, I don't think this is funny. Then leave.
It's meant to be dumb. It's meant to be dumb.
If it wasn't meant to be dumb, Jeff Dunham would probably be labeled a fucking so many other things, but instead he's labeled a comedian. Because that's the fucking point.
True.
As I always say, you are free to be offended, and I am free to offend. Now fuck off. We got a few more minutes to fill.
Yeah, we do. But on that topic of offending and all that nonsense,
yes.
I made friends, as I was talking earlier, I made friends here on campus, or in my resident hall. And one of the things that got me a friend was we were talking about how there was that thing going on in the news talking about how dangerous Black communities are and all this nonsense and blah blah blah.
That's just straight up
and
racism.
I just full on went, as a white person, because I am very pale.
Yes. Not as pale as me, though.
I feel safer in an African American community than I do in a white one.
Oh yeah. I'd back that up. Like, oh, what was the thing I remember saying? Fucking, like, the either the Italian mafia leader or the gang leader calling you a good kid is one of the most, like, is one of the highest statuses you could achieve as a human being. Or what was the other one? An old black lady calling you sugar or honey or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. We need more nice people in the world.
We need less assholes. Especially, we need less assholes in power.
Yeah. Especially in power.
To be honest, we need to see more women in power, but I'm too scared that Kamala Harris is going to fuck up and ruin that for all women.
Oh, yeah. We need more of the people in power and not more of these fucking actors that pretend that they're a politician.
Yeah.
Because it's all, like, we were so close. We were so goddamn close. We almost got it. Everyone almost realized that all this shit that we shuffle around every 4 years means nothing. It's like the train tracks have got...
Because of how, like, to be honest, because of the age limit that you have to be to run for office.
Mm-hmm. What is it, 40? Or is it 35?
Yeah, 35. And it's 35, and how much money you need for a campaign trail that will last. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid because it's like younger people have the ideas and the knowledge and the experience from our lives to help fix it instead of sticking to the status quo. And as much as, again, yes, President Biden is definitely the better one out of the two evils we had to pick.
Lesser of two evils.
He's the lesser of two evils out of the evils we had to pick, and it's just, he's gonna do what every old white man in office does.
Fuck shit up.
Stick to the status quo. And it's...
Yep. You know the analogy with the train cars, and you have, like, what was the analogy? You have a lever, and the lever will divert the tracks from, like, there's a train coming, and on one side of the track is 3 people, but if you pull the lever in front of you, it will divert the train and only kill 1 person. It's but
that person is someone you know.
But well, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone you know. It's just that person. You would be willingly killing that person to save those other 3 lives because one death is less than 3. But in the politics scenario, it's just the train is on a track. There are an infinite number of people on the track, and you can't untie them. But if you pull the lever, you can change the color of the train.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
Yeah.
People, as soon as everyone realizes that, it's over. There's no shit that needs to be shuffled around, and then we'll actually get down to business. Hang on, I'm gonna Google this real quick. How much debt is the U.S. in? The United States is in $27 trillion worth of debt.
Yep.
And where the fuck are we finding the money to send other countries? And we can't even give our own people $1,200 or $2,000, even $600 to survive. I get too political, don't I?
Both do, but like it's just how the world runs, and especially like with our generation.
Oh yeah.
We're just kind of sick and tired of being pushed around.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, having everything blamed on us. Because the older generation looks at us and go, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
Your generation is the fault for why the world is the way it is. And it's like,
every time
we're sitting here trying to fix what you broke.
Every time I hear that, I turn around and say, is it our fault that you prevented regular people from buying stocks and manipulating the stock market like you've been doing for an untold number of years? Is it our fault that the housing market crashed? We weren't even old enough to know what the fuck that meant back then. Kind of thing, you know? This is why
it's just so aggravating to hear, and I understand why it's so aggravating to hear, because it's like, we get blamed for all of it. Our generation sucks because of how much we use the internet and how much we do this and that and how lazy we are and how unmotivated we are because we don't want families and this, that, and everything else. And I'm like, you do realize most of the people I know, especially, that say they don't want family, A, they don't like kids, so they acknowledge the fact that they would not be a good parent.
That's me.
B, they know how much money it costs to survive for themselves. Mm-hmm. You can't raise a child when you can barely scrape by enough money for yourself.
Yeah. Also, like, I saw somewhere, application for an entry-level job required 2 years of experience. And I said, or no, the person that was reading that said, that makes no sense. It's an entry-level job. This is where you get the experience, and you're asking for experience for an entry-level job, and you're being paid minimum wage. And also, this is a personal gripe. Every goddamn company on this fucking planet decided, oh, we're no longer going to do resumes or paper applications or walk in and talk to human beings, because if we move it online, then that gives us an anonymity to the people that we're hiring, and we don't need to worry about people that don't get hired because we never see them in person, and we don't need to worry about it. So people at the top of the list, which, let's be honest here, it's sorted alphabetically by last name. So people all with the last names Adams and Aarons and Amsterdam or whatever, all those last names, they're all the ones that get hired, while everybody B and below, they're just left to suffer. You just have to hope that nobody else is applied.
From my own perspective on that, because my last name starts with an M.
Yeah.
My application most of the time doesn't even get looked at.
Exactly. Imagine, like...
And again, it's not that I haven't tried. Like, I have freely stated I have not actually worked a job in my life. But it's not out of me not trying and me not applying. It's, they wanted someone with experience. And I'm like, how else am I supposed to gain the experience?
It's like, well, go
You're
work
not giving
at
me the
McDonald's or Subway. And then it's like, we can't do that because we won't be able to get out of it. Or if we do get out of it, then you'll say, oh, well, we didn't want McDonald's or Subway experience. We need someone who knows how to call people and then go log stuff in a computer, and McDonald's doesn't let you do that. It's like, then why are there no jobs that give you the experience required to have a career? And then they say, well, then you have to go to college, and then you have to pay for college with money that you don't have yet because you haven't gotten a job. And then you go in debt, and then you're hundreds of $1,000s in debt in some of the worst cases by the time you're out of college, and you still don't have a job yet. There's, God, what the fuck? I was thinking of something. I had a thing in my brain and I lost it.
All I can say is welcome to capitalism.
Yeah, welcome to capitalism. Please enjoy your stay. Just kidding. If you enjoy your stay, we'll throw you in prison.
Basically. It's so fucking stupid. It's just aggravating.
We're not communists. We're not capitalists. We're not... Everything has its flaws, but this shit's rigged to make us fail.
It really is, and it's just...
If you aren't born into something worth, you know...
If you aren't born into money, if you aren't born with a certain amount of intelligence, a certain amount of look... Mm-hmm. There's no getting by in life.
You're fucked.
And it's so fucking stupid.
Predisposition. It must be your fault. It's not. No.
It's not how that works. Why are you going back to Jeff Bezos?
Actually, hang on. I want to think. How much Jeff Bezos net worth is 184.6 billion divided by the number of people living in America is 328.2 million. 328 to if we killed Jeff Bezos and evenly distributed his money across all of America, every single person gets an equal percentage of Jeff Bezos' money, everybody would get $562.46. Every single person. And that's every man, woman, child, baby would get that much money.
Do you think that's ever going? Do you think anyone's ever going to let that happen, or that's going to happen? No.
Of course, it's not going to happen. He's probably going to end up dying at some point, and then his inheritance is going to go to some bank or some other company, or it's going to go back into his company, and then that's just going to grow even more. And then they're not going to pay their employees more. Which, by the way, fucking, I have to say, Amazon raising their minimum wage to $15 an hour does not at all excuse them from preventing people from going on bathroom breaks, from preventing them from having terrible, terrible back and leg pain and having to go through surgery and shit just to stay working. Does not prevent them from, having their steps tracked down to the second. They work in a warehouse 12 hours a day. And $15 an hour is not worth that.
No.
And yet,
out of certain companies, I will state this, as much as I don't personally like Starbucks. When it comes to their employees, Starbucks is actually pretty good of a company, because when they hire like high school students or college students, you want to know what they say? Here's health insurance, first off, that covers even dental. And secondly, here's your tuition so you can go to school.
I applaud Starbucks. I do not drink coffee, and I'm applauding Starbucks.
Just see, this is a company that's actually
This is how you're supposed to capitalism. That's how it's meant to go.
As I have stated earlier, I have friends that are international students here on campus. And as much as they find certain things about America cool, even they're we still prefer home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm that says a lot when the whole American dream is becoming so disillusioned to the younger generation.
Yeah. One of my favorite sayings, and I feel like this is going to be a pretty good closer, so if you have anything else to say it now.
Nah, I'm good.
That's my favorite sayings. One of my big heroes, George Carlin, he says, "It's called the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fucking fits.
It sucks. Anyway, that was everything. I think that's a good time filler.
Yeah. See you guys. We will talk to you. We will be back next week, as always.
Next week, things will be kicking into the next year, I suppose. Next gear. I can't talk. I have a stutter. I don't have a lisp, but whatever.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah. Hope to see you back again. All 0 viewers of you. Goodbye.